Egypt has demanded change, and tonight, in front of the world, it got it. Once again, the politics of the country have shifted. For the second time in 2.5 years, the president has been overthrown. The army ousted Mohamed Morsi earlier today, saying he failed to meet the demands of the Egyptian people. And his removal from office is a sign of Egypt's evolution of democracy. This is Tahrir Square in July of 2011. Demonstrators back then slammed the military government that replaced dictator Hosni Mubarak, accusing soldiers of being heavy-handed and undemocratic. Fast forward 2 years today in Tahrir Square. Protesters cheered the military's power grab from the country's first freely elected president. But make no mistake, Egypt is a country divided. The big, jubilant crowd may have gathered in the square, but not far away, a very different scene. Devastated supporters of Mohamed Morsi. The CBC's Nahlah Ayed was in Tahrir Square in 2011. She's there again tonight. Nahlah?
Allison, this is the new Egypt, take two. And just like the last time, it comes with a lot of hope and some real risks.
It may have been a historic day in the making, but that simply isn't good for business. Rafiq Kamel locks up to go witness history from home.
Don't know. We are in some panic, but we don't know what happened. We are waiting the army what will tell to us.
For days, the army had signaled it would act on behalf of the anti-government protesters, that it would make their wishes real. And so across the country, they gathered again today, one from as far away as Oakville, Ontario. He told his boss he needed time off for a country emergency.
When I devote 1 week of my time to go and fill up 1 square foot in the Egyptian land to say, no, you have to leave now.
Once the protest started on the weekend, the army gave Mohamed Morsi 48 hours to resolve the discontent with his rule. Last night, he rejected the ultimatum as a coup attempt. His speech galvanized his opponents, an eclectic mix of secular and religious, revolutionary and old regime loyalists. And as they counted down to the deadline, the crowds grew bigger and more determined to see Morsi go. This, they said, is democracy too.
For the last 3 days, we are going to work, and after work, we come here to force democracy, and we then go to our homes. So this will continue, whatever it takes.
Morsi's supporters also came together in a show of force, adamant that any intervention would be a blow to democracy. The picture is clear. We are facing a military coup, says Mohammed al-Baltagi. The difference of opinion already led to violence. Last night it erupted in terrible clashes that killed more than 20 people. And so the concern was that if the army deposed Morsi, there would certainly be more of this. The deadline passed, and still no official word. The army, though, was now visible on the streets and notably in control of state television. It wasn't public yet, but by late afternoon, Morsi had been told he was no longer president. Some anxious hours later, the defense minister and army chief announced the end of the Islamist president who had appointed him and the plan to start the new Egypt from scratch. Abdel Fattah al-Sisi said the constitution would be suspended, that the country would hold early parliamentary and presidential elections. Morsi was no more. In Tahrir Square, the symbolic birthplace of the Arab Spring and the scene of so much hope in 2011, it was utter joy. They may have been here before, but this, they say, is a chance to right past wrongs. A military coup from an army with a history of them, but also a second chance at hope.
Egypt will now be ruled by an interim government until elections are held, and tomorrow a president, a civilian one, will be sworn in. Now, the army will be there all along, as pivotal as it has been in the country's politics for more than 60 years. Alison?
Nahlah, so what do we know about Mohamed Morsi and his whereabouts tonight?
Well, what we understand is that a number of people in the leadership of the Muslim Brotherhood have actually been apprehended, and some have had warrants issued for their arrest. As for Mohamed Morsi himself, his whereabouts are unknown. Alison.
All right, thanks, Nahlah.